Gas masks and grenades. Gas masks and grenades. Gas masks and grenades. Gas masks and hand grenades.
Hey, everybody. Well, what happened there? Hey, what is happening, everybody? I'm going to start a few minutes early here. Frank Marino will be calling in to join me now. As in the past, Frank is a phoner only. He does not do video interviews. So he'll be calling in a few minutes here, and I thought I'd just kind of lay that out to you. We're going to talk about his first live appearance, like a full-length concert in 16 years, I believe it is. Not his first live appearance, but his first full-length concert appearance in nearly 16 years. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some songs that might be in the set list. We're going to talk about, anything that's going on in the world of Frank Marino. As many of you know, Frank's on my Mount Rushmore of guitar players. Huge influence on me. Huge influence. I can't even begin to describe it. And I'm actually thinking about going up to the show in Montreal in early August. So we'll kind of get into some of that. I imagine a lot of people will be catching this later, not during the actual broadcast. And so if that's the case, that's cool. Spread this thing around. It's not going to be a long 2-hour type deal like I usually have with Frank. Probably about an hour at the most. His time's valuable, and I haven't slept much in the last 2 days because of some neurological stuff I'm dealing with. So I'm not going to keep him all day. So when he calls in, we'll go live. I hope the volume's going to be okay. I hope somebody shows up in the comments and helps me out with telling me how the volume is. And we'll kind of go from there. But he should be calling in any minute here, next minute or two. And we'll go live with Frank. Not a lot to report on the channel. I do think there will be interviews with Phil Tugas and of Worm and Cathealist and First Fragment and Exul and all that kind of stuff. We're going to talk to him, I believe, not this Saturday, but next Saturday down in Baltimore, hopefully live, like in the flesh. Also, I think I'm going to be getting the Silver guys on as well. We'll talk about their new album, Looking Glass Hymnal Blue. They're opening for Worm down in Baltimore at the Metro Gallery on the 20th. I am seeing Worm on the 16th as well down in Philly, probably with some of the Philly crew, hopefully. And other than that, I don't have a whole lot planned for June. Couple of shows. Here comes Frank. Frank!
Yeah.
Hey, man. Hang on one sec here. Let me get you on speaker. There we go. Can you hear me?
How are you, man?
Good, man. How are you doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah, man. I mean, big news, maybe, right?
Yeah.
Pretty big news.
Big change.
Yeah. Well, let's back up a sec here. I'm live already. I kind of introduced the fact that you'd be calling in a sec, and I told everybody you're a phoner. You do it the hardcore old way, which is cool. I'm not that far behind you. I'm a little behind you, but I'm not that far behind you. I hit the big 6-0 last.
I can zoom in if you want better sound, but I have no camera on the machine.
Nah, you're fine. I got you hooked up to a mic here, so we're gonna be. I think we're gonna be fine. But yeah, so I got a telephone call from. Well, actually, I got a text message 3 weeks ago, Friday, 3 weeks ago. I was at the Maryland Death Fest. I don't expect that you know what that is, Frank.
The Maryland what?
The Maryland Death Fest. DEATH Death Fest. It's all death metal bands and stuff like that.
Okay, I don't know what it is, but anyway.
Your old dog here does like some extremely heavy metal, but I'd still love my Frank Marino. So
You'd love my nephew's band.
What is is that the Agonist or
No. His brother.
what's the name of that band?
Born Broken.
Born Broken. Okay. I am aware of that because I are you familiar with the Cryptopsy guys? Do you know Flo Monnier?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I know who Flo is, but I don't know him personally.
Okay. So I went to see those guys last October, and
Yeah.
I work for the label and do a lot of interviews with those guys, and they're just the best guys. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, they are. Metal guys are always the best guys.
Absolutely. And I brought up something. I don't even know how your name came up, and they goes, "Oh, we know the Marinos." So I was like, "Well, okay." And they're like, "Yeah, Frank's
they
awesome."
know Mike. They know Mike. That's for sure. Like the nephew that has the Born Broken.
Okay,
they know him very well.
That was the connection. But they, of course, know of your legendary status, and of course, and Flo is just the best guy. He's such an awesome dude.
And an awesome drummer too.
Oh man. Yeah. And actually I just hung out with him at the beginning of May at the Decibel Fest, and that's another kind of heavy metal fest. And I do go to these because I have a lot of contacts in the metal world, and I'm a metal guy. I love metal guitar. What could I say?
So Mike's band just won a contest here in Canada to be the Canadian representative in Germany at this gigantic metal fest that's happening in Germany in July.
Is that Wacken?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he won. So he's on that show.
Oh wow! No kidding. Okay,
yeah.
I gotta look into his band. I swear we talked about this the last time, and it just slipped my mind. But I am aware of him. Yeah.
Just remember, Born Broken.
Born Broken. Will do. Okay. So I'm at this Maryland Death Fest. I was only there one day. Usually I go for the 5 days, but my age caught up to me this year, and I'm like, man, I just don't think I could do it for 5 days. And long story short, I get this text from one Mr. Mick Lane. You know a Mick Lane, don't you?
Yeah, he's playing with me.
I know. And he says, hey, can you talk? I'm like, actually, no, I can't. I won't be able to hear you. You won't be able to hear me. How about I call you tomorrow? So I gave him a call, and then we played phone tag for a couple days. And then he caught up with me last Tuesday, 3 weeks ago. And he says, hey, man, did you hear the news? I'm like, no. And right away, I was like, oh, God, no, please. You hear that kind of thing. And you're like, oh, shit, no, not that. And he's like, no, it's great news. I said, please don't tell me, Frank. And he goes, no, it is Frank, but it's great news. And then he dropped the news on me that you're going to be playing your first full-length concert. And you've done some other stuff, a couple little things here. But
I did a little cameo last year, and I did some jam sessions.
Right. And you did the what was it, Live Aid 40?
Yeah, but that was only 15 minutes and 3 songs.
Right. But that was like your first real big jump back onto a stage in quite a while, though, right?
Yeah, but it was indoors, and it was not huge in terms of the audience size. But this festival. It's coming up on the 7th of August. Is a big free outdoor festival.
Right. Tell me a little bit about how this all came about then.
Well, I mean, they asked me to do it because it's Italian, and they always want to have Italian artists, and it's free.
Okay.
And those two things, like, I thought about it, and I thought my father would love it.
Right.
If he was alive.
Right.
So I said, you know what, I'm gonna say yes to this, and give me a chance to, get out and play on a stage, and I like the idea that it's a free concert, and it's not like I'm out there shilling for money or anything like that,
Yeah, it's kind of like the old days, the real old days when you got started.
Exactly.
Yeah. Did you know these people before? Had they come to you before?
No, they hadn't.
Okay.
They know Mike, but Mike knows everybody.
I see. Okay. So Italfest, it's in Montreal, correct?
Yeah.
And where at? Is there like a town center or
like there's Little Italy in Montreal.
Okay.
Little Italy is a main street that tees to another main boulevard, and it has a bunch of avenues that cross it.
Mm-hmm.
And the street is called Saint Laurent, which is Saint Lawrence.
Right.
And the street that it crosses is Jean Talon. And everyone in Montreal knows where Little Italy is. So what they do is they close off that street entirely for 5 blocks or 6 blocks or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a festival. And it's a bunch of days.
Okay. And
I'm going to be on it.
Okay. So, I mean, well, going back just a sec here, the last time we talked was September, and that actually last year, and that was actually before you did the Live Aid 40 thing. And it was right after somebody had sent me a link of you kind of playing, sort of just jamming with some dudes out in a park, I think.
Right. That's what I'm doing now these days. I just like to get together with people and just jam,
Right. But I mean, that was
remember the way you said the old days?
Uh-huh.
Well, that's how I'm reliving the old days.
Hey, man.
Doing that.
Nothing wrong with that at all, man. Nothing wrong with that at all. But my point that I was trying to get to was that when we last spoke before this past September, it had been April the year before. It had gone over quite a while, over a year. And, your finger was not good. You were really struggling with a lot of stuff. Now,
that's all good now.
Okay, so things have kind of cleared up?
Everything cleared up.
Wow. You were going to therapy, if I remember. Or am I wrong about that?
And it didn't do anything. It did nothing.
Yeah, I know all about that. I can.
You know what? Time heals everything.
Right. And were you able to
wait long enough and it all works out?
Well, were you able to kind of back off the pedal thing in that you weren't using it so much to build pedals, or what?
Well, no, I was still using it, but you know what? I just started acting as if it was fine.
Okay.
And eventually it got fine.
Mind over matter, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, that's fantastic news. But I think even when we talked in September and you'd done some jamming over the summer, like the get-togethers and whatnot, you said that it was still a little bit problematic, but now it seems to have cleared all up for you.
The longer you wait, the more it heals.
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically what it's all about. It's like the body's an interesting thing, like if you just wait long enough, it's going to heal.
Yeah, I mean, did they ever figure out what it was? Like, was it a tendonitis or bursitis?
Tendon.
It was tendon.
I damaged a nerve or a tendon.
Wow.
And I went to all this therapy,
mm-hmm.
and they're putting rubber bands on me, and then they tried magnets and lasers and all that kind of stuff. And I have to admit that I wasn't really believing it anyway.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But basically, after a certain amount of time, it just worked.
Wow. How about that? I mean, that's awesome to hear. Did you start, like, I know there for a while you wouldn't play the guitar because it was so painful. Did you just,
it hurt. It hurt a lot. Yeah.
When did you start kind of pushing through and just saying, I'm going to play? I mean, when did that kind of start happening for you?
A little while ago. I mean, I just basically said, pain is something you have to deal with. Like you have to deal with it.
The older we get, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm about to be 72, so
man.
Obviously, I mean, will I be as fast as I used to be?
Right.
I probably will be, but it's when you get older, I kind of want to play slower anyway.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I don't mean slow. I mean,
No, but
word.
I get you. I get you. I mean, even
like I was thinking of telling the drummer, like if you listen to my albums, let's say I take a song like The Answer, which we usually start with, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you listen to my albums, each song has a certain speed, certain meter.
Right.
And the problem is when you get out on stage, you get an adrenaline rush.
Right.
And consequently, whatever you do live, and it's not just me, ask everybody else.
Oh,
I'll
for
tell
sure.
you the same thing.
For sure.
Whatever you do live, the adrenaline, when you count in the song,
it speeds up.
It used to be 1, 2, 3, 4, go. It turns into 1, 2, 3, 4, go.
Yeah, right.
And then you're trapped in the song at this ridiculously high speed.
Sure.
So I'm going to tell Dave, who's the drummer,
mm-hmm.
this time, because he happens to like monitors through in-ears.
Okay.
I won't use in-ears, right?
Right.
But he likes that. So I'm going to tell Dave, since you're using your in-ears, would you mind getting the tempo of the tune onto a click?
Right.
And just don't play with the click. Just listen to the click and start us off with the tune so that it's the proper tempo for the tune so that we don't have this adrenaline rush. So maybe the songs will be a little bit slower.
That's funny, man. I love it.
Which is what they're supposed to be.
Right. Yeah. That's funny, man. So when you did the well, to go back to Mick for a second, we ended up talking for like an hour because he's a metalhead too, so we like talking about metal bands and all that kind of fun stuff. And he let me know that he's like, yeah, I'm going to be playing with Frank, and I was like, oh man, super cool, because he came. I ended up interviewing him. I think you may have known about that. He probably told you about it as a result of him leaving a comment on. I don't know whether it was our first or our second interview, but. I was like, hey man, are you the Mick Lane? Why don't you come on? Let's talk about playing with Frank. And he has, he reveres you. So, but we were kind of talking about this, and the more he started talking about it, I said, dude, I think I'm gonna have to drive up to Montreal.
Well, that's a long way to go.
It's 8.5 hours. I mean,
that's long. But listen, I'm not surprised because you should see the emails I'm getting.
I bet. Yeah.
Like from Portugal, Spain, Sweden, all kinds of places, all places in America.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone says they're coming.
You're gonna have a contingent of, 90,000 merino wing nuts that are.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how many are going to actually do it.
Right.
I guess the fact that it's a free festival anyway, so they figure, okay, so it's a trip. They're going to make a trip out of it.
Well, I mean, for me, I was actually going to drive out to Montana in late July, and I don't think I'm going to do that now for a number of reasons. Financially, it might not be. I'd have to sell some guitars to do it, and I don't know if I really want to go down.
What were you going to do in Montana?
Well, there's a big music festival out there on a Blackfoot Indian reservation called Fire in the Mountains.
Is it a metal fest or a rock fest?
It's a metal fest, but it's a cool metal fest because it's very much tied to the indigenous the American Indians, the Blackfoot reservation. Right. It's actually on the Blackfoot reservation out there. And so there's bands that are coming there, Frank, that I'm probably never going to get to see anywhere else. And that does have me thinking, man, do I want to get rid of my Ibanez Destroyer or not? I don't know. Anyway, I don't play it a lot. And I think to myself, it's kind of collecting dust, but will I regret it? But it's not all metal. And they actually have workshops with actual tribal chiefs about land conservation and all of the indigenous practices of the American Indian that are out there. So it's kind of a cool thing because I was always kind of into the Indian sort of thing. I actually have a couple tattoos and they're all Indian tattoos, believe it or not. I only have a few, But that I was very into reading about the Blackfeet many years ago. So I'm thinking about it. But by the same token, I'll hit you with this question because I think I kind of know the answer, at least right now. I don't foresee you getting in a bus and touring again. But would you?
No.
Have you thought about doing anything beyond this, or do you want to see how this goes?
No, I'm open to doing one-offs.
Okay.
You know, like if there's a reason. It's like there was a reason to do this.
Right.
It wasn't just like I want to be on the road or I want to keep my name alive or whatever. You know, it's had like a certain reason. And when I did the thing last year, even though it was just 3 songs, it was a special event. It was a special reason. It was for the 40-year anniversary of Live Aid.
Right.
So for something like that, I'd say yes, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But would I go out on the road on tour on a bus and go to different cities and stuff? No, that's just not good. You know, I'm not thinking of doing that. And if it ends up happening, it'd be the biggest. I'd be the most surprised.
Yeah, I kind of figured as much. You
never know. I mean, look, we don't know. We don't know what's going to lead to what. You know, like now
Right.
Somebody's asking me if I would go on one of these cruises.
I was just going to ask you that.
Well, I don't know anything about these cruises. Like, what would be the reason I would do it? Well, it's a Rock Legends thing and blah, 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 you know, and it's a one-off. And so maybe I'd think about it, you know, like, I can't say for sure that I would, but right now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, you'd have to
But
see.
it would have to be whatever I do, you know, I'm happy being just, you know, going out and jamming with people because there's a lot less hassle. It's more like when I was young, you know.
Right. And there's not there's not contracts and money and all that kind of craziness involved in it.
Right. Like, look at the way when it started. I mean, why did we do what we did in the first place?
Because you wanted to jam with your buddy.
Fun. Yeah, that's right. We did it for fun.
Yeah.
And so when I play, I still get fun out of it. But what was happening touring was it was becoming unfun.
Yeah.
Because you have to deal with so much stuff that has nothing to do with playing.
Yeah, the business side of the bullshit.
Exactly. Yeah. And then people would get upset because, you know, somebody burnt their toast, you know? Like
right.
It was
Yeah.
You have to deal with all of that. And I don't know. I just don't find that fun. That's why I left.
Yeah, I get it, man. I mean,
I didn't quit. I didn't quit simply because I didn't feel good. I walked away from it the way I walked away from it in the 80s. You know, like I just had enough of the way things were done. It was either about money or it was about fame or it was about anything but playing.
Yeah, you were burnt out on the business, not the music end of it. The music business.
Yeah, it should just be about playing. And believe me, if you keep it about playing, you can play anywhere.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to be some big important gig.
Are you gonna be the headliner that night, or do you not know?
Yeah,
you are.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, I'm closing.
And you're actually gonna do.
I'm only playing 90 minutes.
Yeah, I know. That's like a short set for you.
Yeah. I've been sitting here trying to figure out what to play.
Well, okay. I'm glad you brought that up because we're gonna go there in a minute because I have some. I want to hit you with a few songs that I'm not going to lie to you and said I did exhaustive research here and tried to find every set list going back to 1972. But what I did do was try to cross-reference things that you played at the Agora where you did how many songs did you do? Like 62, was it? What was it?
57.
57. All right. I was off by 5. I mean, it's crazy. Plus there was 6 hours of footage that never even actually made.
That's right. Plus there was the night before.
Right. So maybe you're probably going to tell me when I throw some of these songs at you, you're going to be like, played it, but we didn't put it on the DVD. But I'm curious. So we'll get into that in a minute. But what I was going to ask first was, have you actually sat down and started to map out what you want to play? I mean, obviously you have some calling
for that gig, for the gig that's coming up.
Yeah.
No, I haven't actually I've been toying with, well, maybe we'll do this. Well, maybe we'll do that. Like I really haven't mapped it out.
Okay.
Because I've got to somehow make it fit into 90 minutes.
Right.
So there's certain things I surely want to play.
Mm-hmm.
So how do I get them in 90 minutes is the question. I have to shorten up some of the tracks. Like, for instance, I want to play Poppy.
Which is
but
20
Poppy
minutes.
It contains She's Not There, and it contains Crossroads.
Right.
So maybe I play Poppy without Crossroads.
Right. I see what you're getting at there. Yeah.
Stick to just Poppy.
And you have certain signature tracks. I mean, you have stuff like The Answer and Dragonfly and
like
Talk About a Feeling.
Talk About the Feeling has Who Do You Love in it.
Right.
So maybe I do Talking About a Feeling the way it was originally done without Who Do You Love in it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
From the original album.
Yeah, that was the thing about you. You always did. Of course, it's on the live album, the famous album that I was introduced to you through in 1977 or 8.
Yeah.
Which one?
77.
7. Okay, I thought it was 77. I was 13, and I've told you this story. I'll tell it again. But I walk into my buddy Eric's bedroom, and actually, I come to his house. I bang on the door. His mom opens the door. I'm like, "Where's Eric at?" And she's like, "Back there where the noise is." And I go walking back. His door's shut, and I'm just hearing this terrifying sound coming out of his room. And he opens the door. I'm like, "Dude, what the?" I probably said a swear word because I was learning to swear at that age.
Electric Reflections of War.
It was Electric Reflections, and I was like, "This is the most terrifying thing I've ever heard in my life." It still is in a lot of ways. And that was, I was 13 years old, and that was when my love affair with Frank Marino started. But to tie this back into me traveling up there, I feel like if I don't make this trip, who knows? You know what I mean?
Well, that's one of the ones I will do.
Well, of course, you have to, right? Well, you don't have to, but you have to.
But that's one of the ones I will do because it's part of my solo. But in my solo nowadays, I like to play Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to somehow get time for that, and that's soft. You know, so I have to be able to go from hard to soft.
Right. Yeah.
And then I like to end the way I ended the DVD. Yeah, with Amazing Grace.
Right.
So I'd like to do that, but maybe I have to do a shorter version of that because
there's
I got to fit everything into 90 minutes.
Yeah, there's some flow here that you're going to work on, right?
Right, and Dave, I want people to see Dave do his solo, because he's a fantastic drummer.
Right.
So I have to make time for that. So you kind of have to work backwards. Like, what are you going to finish with? That takes up so much time.
Yeah.
Is there a drum solo? That takes up so much time.
Right.
And what do you want to do? I want to do a blues. I've got two choices to do a blues. I can either do King Bee from the Black Live album, or I can do Red House, my version of Red House from the DVD.
Right.
And I'm more partial to the DVD than the Black Live album, but some people might be more partial to the Black Live album because they know it better.
Right. The old timers. Like me.
So
like me, kind of now. I can't believe I'm saying that. I just turned 60.
There's a question that I'm going to throw that up to a vote.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll just ask the guys, what do you want to do? Like, what do you think?
Well, let me throw a couple songs.
I never had a set list, so
Yeah, Mick told me that. He's like, Frank doesn't have a set list. He just goes blah blah boom, and we go. And I'm like, what? Like I could never play with you, Frank. I'd have no clue what the hell I was doing. You know what I mean? But that takes familiarity, of course. That kind of stuff like that. But let me throw a couple songs at you. We'll come back to this because but now that we're talking set list, I'm kind of curious about some things. So I kind of went through and was just looking at each album and going, what's been played a lot that I'm aware of, and what hasn't been played a lot. And what might be like an Easter egg, like, whoa, he's playing that? Now, granted, some of these songs you probably haven't played in a long time, so you'd have to You'd have to
talking about a feeling. Yeah.
woodshed a little bit. Yeah, they're not like The Answer and Dragonfly, which you can play in your sleep. You know what I mean?
Right.
But here, so I'm going to go album by album. I'm going to throw a track at you, and I just like you to thumbs up, thumbs down, and maybe why. And let's just do this as a hypothetical. You're probably not going to play any. What's that?
All right, stuff, but I'll try.
Okay, but you're probably not going to play any of these. But I thought it might be a fun little game to play, whereas it would get you to comment on some tracks that you haven't normally talked about much. I think I could be wrong about that. But I'd be curious if it would maybe get the bee in the bonnet started where you go, Jeff had a point. I might want to try that one. Let's just see what goes. So off of Maxum, probably my favorite track on that album that I don't know if you ever played. You probably did in the early days, but the song Madness.
Oh, yeah.
That is a cool track.
You know what's very interesting about that song? The chord changes and the solo, right, are extremely similar to what came years later from the Eagles, Hotel California.
Is it really?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Like too similar.
Oh,
if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. I hear you. Yeah. I'll have to, now you say that, I'll have to listen to it. Are you talking about the solo itself?
Yeah. Da, 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 da. With the harmony on it. It's like Hotel California.
Okay, I'm going to check that out because I hear things a lot like that where I'm like, hey, that sounds like that or that sounds like that. I thought maybe you were referencing one of your later songs, but that's a super killer song. Now, I guess that probably is too much of its time, but that would be a cool one to pull out for the old heads.
Cool to throw out at least part of the riff in a medley.
Okay, there you go.
Like that's the way I do these things.
I know. Mm-hmm. Did you ever play that song regularly?
Part of a song. Like when I play "Ain't Dead Yet," I don't play the whole song.
Right, you play an excerpt of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever play Madness after, say, the first album or two or so?
Yeah.
Oh, you did.
Of course.
Okay, you did play it regularly.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure about.
Well, in high school gigs.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about
because early? I did that album. I was 16.
I know, man. I still can't get over that.
So we played a lot of high schools and everything after that.
I still marvel at that. Like it still blows my freaking mind. I mean, I don't even know what to say about that. That's just mind blowing to me. All right, how about we move on to Child and the Novelty, and a song that I'm curious again how much play this got in the early days. I don't think it got played a lot later on, but I could be wrong. Through the Milky Way, very Hendrixy.
Oh. Da, 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 da.
Right on. Yep. Very Hendrixy. Yeah. That one run is pretty Hendrixy, but it's such a cool song. It's kind of got me floating sort of vibe or something,
Yeah.
Was that one you played regularly back in the day, or
no?
Because that has a lot of studio trickery on it too, like a lot of reverse.
Well, there's a lot of overdubs, I mean,
right.
We were a 3-piece band with a lot of overdubs.
Yeah.
Not that we can't play it. Like, for instance, Tales of the Spanish Warrior from Strange Universe, I believe.
Yep. That was my next song, and that may be
I played that live with Nick.
Okay, but you didn't play that on the DVD that I could find. Okay. And I got to tell you, Frank,
we were going to. It was on paper.
Okay.
But we just kept jamming on so many. If you notice on the DVD, a lot of the songs are longer versions than the original.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So It's Begun to Rain, turns into this huge jazz.
Yeah, it's like a 12-minute song on the DVD. Yeah.
Yeah. So the fact that I kept doing that and improvising on all these songs that were on the piece of paper,
right,
meant that some of the songs on the piece of paper didn't get played.
It had to get dropped.
Spanish Warrior was one of them, and Land of a Thousand Nights was another one.
Okay, you just nailed the two songs off Strange Universe that are two of my favorite Mahogany Rush songs of all time. And Tales,
I may do Land of a Thousand Nights at the gig.
Oh man, dude, that would be so killer, man. And Tales, man, I'm very partial to For World Anthem and Tales, of course, because that was when I kind of came into your
Right.
band around that era in the 77, 78. But man, Tales of the Spanish Warrior, God, dude, that song is so killer, man. I mean, just the harmonies on it, and
Right.
whatever you did on the lead guitars on there, just the effects processing is it's so killer. It's just like that's just one of my favorite songs of all time. But I threw those two out there. You kind of stole them out of my mouth there before I even got to say them. So now here's a weird one that I wonder if you ever played this back in the day. And I'm gonna say no, but maybe you did. Moonwalk, did you ever do that live?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I thought maybe,
but it's a different live. It's a slightly different version.
Yeah, because is the synth being played or not live?
No.
Okay.
So everything has to change. It's the same as Sister Change.
Mm-hmm.
I had Nanette singing the backup vocals on Sister Change, but if I do Sister Change live, I don't have her.
Right.
So I have to invent a different way of doing it. Now look at Strange Dreams.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't have the keyboard, I have to play the line on my guitar, which is what I wrote it on. The Moog line.
Right. Right.
I have to do that on the guitar. But I wrote it on the guitar originally and added the keyboard later.
Okay. Yeah, I think
so.
We did
I
discuss
can do
that.
it live with the guitar version live.
Yeah. Now, obviously, that's a song you're probably obligated to play. I would think, more or less.
Well, I don't know. I don't really want to play it because it's more singing than I like to do.
Okay. Right.
I don't want to do songs that have a lot of singing.
Well,
I've only got 90 minutes, and I don't want to spend it singing.
Yeah. Okay. So let's segue off of the tracks for a minute. Let's talk about that. How do you feel you are? Like, you haven't done a lot of singing in a lot of years, I gather,
No.
right?
No.
How are you feeling about that? Do you feel like your voice is in pretty good shape? And here's the reason I ask. Two of your fellow Canadian bands are one just started a tour last night, a big one, and you know who I'm talking about, of course.
Yeah.
Rush. And the other band is wrapping up, I believe, in Montreal or Quebec, maybe. Either tonight or tomorrow night, and that band being Triumph. And we're going to come back to Triumph because you have a story that I want to get to that I heard from somebody else.
I've played with both of those bands.
Say again?
I've played with both of those bands.
Okay, I did want to ask you about that. So Triumph just wrapped up a tour, and I went to see them in Camden, New Jersey, a week and a half ago. And look, Frank, on my Mount Rushmore, there's you, there's Alex Lifeson, there's Rick Emmett, and probably Jerry Cantrell, weirdly enough, or maybe Jimi Hendrix, or I don't know. There's anybody else, but the three of you guys, the holy trinity of Canadian guitar players, you guys are on my Mount Rushmore. What I was going to get to was that, Rick had to drop, Rick used to sing Crazy High, and they had to drop the keys quite a bit. I mean,
that's natural. Look at the age of the guy.
Yeah, he's 72. You guys are the same age. Exactly.
Yeah.
How do you feel you are like? And I will say that Geddy last night sounded quite a bit better than I thought he was going to sound. He's not the Geddy of 1977. Okay, he's just not that guy.
Right.
Neither was Rick. I thought Triumph was fantastic live. I loved what they did with adding the three new guys to cover, and because Mike wasn't well enough to go out. And I thought the tour was amazing. And a real quick sidebar there was that in 1980, I had tickets to see Triumph on the Progressions of Power tour. Would have been my third show ever, Rush being second and Kiss being first. And I mouthed off to my mother, and she tore the ticket up. And I never got to see Triumph until 10 days ago. Yeah, my mom was not a spare the rod mother. She was like, "You F up, buddy, zip, zip, zip."
Yeah.
That's it. So, and I thought they were absolutely fantastic. I think Rick was having the time of his life. They have a big machine out there. I don't think they sold quite the amount of tickets they probably would have hoped to, but they're let's be honest, their fan base is my age and older.
Right.
And so, there are young guys that are into you as young guys, but the old guys far outweigh the young guys still. Those of us that are still alive.
for sure.
How are you feeling vocally at this time? Have you tried to sing much?
I'm the same guy as the DVD.
Okay. You still got that range.
Yeah. But I never thought of myself as a singer.
Right.
I sang because I had to.
Right. And you never were never a screamer like Geddy or like even Rick was with that high pitch.
No.
Yeah.
So basically, you know, if I'm doing It's Big Terrain, it's pretty easy to have that same voice, you know?
Okay.
What might be hard for me, let's say now, is if I have to do a lot of screams, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like there's this one scream in The Answer where the first change comes up, and, you know, we go da 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 da,
right,
and then I scream, you know.
Right.
I don't know if I'll do that scream, not because I can't, but because why do I want to make my voice hoarse afterwards?
Right,
you know?
And then have to chase it around. But like, or something like, for example, like Requiem, where you've got that gritty sort of I'm walking.
Oh, that's my voice.
Okay,
yeah, so no, that's my voice.
You're not too worried about that then. Okay.
No, I'm not too worried about that.
Cool. Well, and it's not like you're going out on 50 dates like Geddy is, so you don't have that to worry about.
Right.
And
then who knows? Will I have a cold that night?
Oh, not a summer cold, man. Let's cross our fingers. That doesn't.
No, you never know, man.
Yeah.
You know, like you take what comes.
That's true.
And you make the best of it.
Let's jump back to a couple quick songs here. So we did Moonwalk. Have you ever played Lady live?
I don't think so.
That's a cool little song.
Probably. I'll put it to you this way. Every one of those songs was played in some fashion or in some form.
Okay.
At sound check.
Okay. And
but
maybe in a medley, you pulled a riff here or there, or.
Yeah, but even at sound check, we used to do a lot of them.
Okay.
But then we just wouldn't do them in the gig.
Right. Lady.
Go figure.
Lady's kind of a unique one because it's got a real jazzy funkiness.
Well, it's got an actual Moog solo in it.
That's true. It does.
Weird. All of a sudden, it's like.
Are you gonna have a keyboardist?
So I'd have to learn all that on guitar.
You're not gonna have a keyboardist then?
No, I wouldn't have the keyboard.
Okay.
But if I do what it is I'd like to do, like I've been toying with the idea of not starting a new band, but bringing a B3 into the band.
A B3, a Hammond.
Hammond, yeah.
Oh man, do some John Lord.
So if I do that, then I could do Lady.
Yeah, man, that would be wicked.
Yeah.
I have to ask this: did you ever play Tales of the Unexpected live, the full version?
Oh yeah,
Frank. If I come up
quite a few times.
If I come up, how much do I have to bribe you to play that song? I know it's 8 minutes.
It could happen.
Man, that would blow my mind.
Isn't it on Real Live?
Is it? Yeah, you might be right about that. Now that I think of it. Yeah, you're right. I missed that. I didn't look at the Real Live albums. Oops.
Yeah.
Okay, man, I think that solo in that song is, to me, I told you, and a lot of people say this about you. I'm not the first guy that said this, but you know, to me, you were the shredder of the 70s. You and Gary Moore, maybe Uli a little less than that. And I got an Uli story for you in a minute here.
Yeah.
But that solo in that song is so freaking blazing fast that I don't think anybody else was able to keep up with that thing in 1978, man. That thing was just wicked, right?
Yeah. Well, so was Moonwalk.
Yeah. Moonwalk was fast too. You're right.
But you know what? About the speed thing, I'm glad you brought that up.
Mm-hmm.
Because now that I'm older,
sure,
I really look at it differently. Like I really look at too much speed as being bad for the music.
Okay.
Like, think about this, okay? Let's say you read a really good book that makes you want to read it. You know, a real page turner.
Right.
Does it matter how fast the guy typed it?
Well, no, of course not. No.
It's the phrasing, right? It's what he did with the notes, what he did with the letters.
Right.
That makes you like it. And so I'm kind of looking at music like that. What is the phrase? It's fine to do it fast, and I still will do it fast.
Sure.
But what notes will I use is more important than how fast will I do it. Because there's guys today that are so lightning fast that the speed doesn't even matter.
Yeah, anymore. It's kind of become almost comical at times, you know?
Yeah, there's 12-year-olds that are going at that light speed right now.
Which is horrifying to me in a lot of ways, because I can't keep up with that kind of stuff. It's just and you're right. I mean, I know when like Yngwie, you know, when Yngwie kind of popped on the scene, because, you know, Eddie was fast, but he was always tasteful. Eddie was not what I would call like a sweet picker or the crazy Yngwie type, you know, neoclassical stuff, you know?
Yeah, neither was I.
Yeah. But
I just picked the right notes. I mean,
but you
happen to go fast because you do.
But Frank, you were the king of pentatonic shred. I'm sorry. And I know that if Zach were here right now, he would be saying, Father Marino was the king of shred, pentatonic shred. That's what
he calls me up, and he calls me the pontiff.
The pontiff. Zach is the best. That guy. I've never met him. I would love to meet him. I would love to have him on my show. But
he's a great guy.
He is awesome, man. He is so awesome. Guy. And he's always been one of your true champions. But let me throw one or two more songs at you, because I was thinking about the Tales album, and I don't know if I asked you this in our first interview, and I didn't have time to go back and listen to everything that we've done, because we've talked several hours here over the course of 3 interviews. But that second side was it a live in studio thing? It wasn't like on a stage, right?
No.
Okay. So it wasn't like live in a club and then mixed and you know, multi-channel mixed.
It's just enhanced.
Okay. So the songs like Woman and Door to Illusion and Down, 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 in particular, Door to Illusion.
We've done those live a million times.
You have done them live. Okay. All right. So you got to remember, I never got to see you live. So
I used to start my show with Down, Down, Down.
Okay. Well, that makes a lot of sense, because that would be the kind of song that would work really well to get things.
Yeah, I'd say y'all want to get down tonight, blah, 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 you know, and then we do it, you know. I mean, I don't plan anything.
Mm-hmm.
I never plan.
Which is crazy. I mean, everything nowadays is choreographed.
The guys that play with me, you know who has the worst time is the sound guys and the light guys.
Oh, really? Because they don't know how to.
They never know what I'm going to play.
Oh man, yeah. You're kind of naughty that way, aren't you?
Well, it's. I want to keep it fresh all the time. Otherwise, it's very, very boring.
Right, and you came from that era where, again, going back to the 60s and early 70s, where it was a jam thing, and you weren't planning shit out.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you play, right?
I play guitar.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you know what I mean.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah. I mean, a lot of times, you know, you get in a room with a bunch of dudes, and before you know it, you're, you know, and you had mentioned it was for fun. And let's be honest, back in those days, in my early days of playing in the early 80s, you know, it was generally about girls to some degree. And it was also about probably drinking some beers. I know you were never a drinker, but we would always drink. I couldn't play when I drank much, but it was kind of the party thing. You know what I mean? It was part of it. But that's why you actually put records out and I never did. I probably didn't get serious enough about it, but I get exactly what you're saying. And so that is interesting. Like your sound and light guys are always kind of guessing. They have a big list of songs.
Especially the light guy.
Yeah.
He never knows, like, because they're really into their craft. So if you're going to do a song that's somber and all that stuff, they want to be ready with the right type of coloring and everything like that. And all of a sudden, I start playing something that's really high speed.
Right.
You know, it's like they're shifting their board around.
They got to adapt to you. They got to adapt to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I had a liquid light show, because he would do the liquid lights with the band, jamming with the band. Even he never knew what we were going to do next, but he'd just jam along with the band with his liquid lights.
In prepping this little list here, I kind of focused more on later material because, you know, I don't know how much of this kind of stuff you played, but like I had kind of forgotten. In fact, the only album that because I know the early albums kind of not note for note, but pretty much song for song. I know them by heart, but I don't know the last 3 albums quite as well. I have them, but I haven't played them as much. You see what I mean? And
well, my favorite album, I mean, I kind of like the early ones too. Okay, I do. And
right.
I love to go back and play some of those tunes. Not everybody knows them. Even the guys I play with don't know them. The
right.
same as like if it would be with Jimmy and Paul. But I like Eye of the Storm.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the album that I listened to in full today. And I kind of forgot how damn good that album is. And you know what really stood out to me? And when I say this, you're going to be like, oh, I know. That album, if I recall correctly, kind of came out. It came out in 2001 when the internet was just kind of getting its legs under it, right?
Yeah.
And I think I found out about it through Wild Willie's website. Did he have that back then? He did, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you had to send you a check or a money order or something. I can't remember how that worked out. And I do remember that the CD was kind of, for back then, was kind of pricey. It was like $25 because of shipping and Canadian, you know, the Canadian, the exchange rate and all that kind of stuff. And I remember getting it and just being pretty blown away. But here's the other thing. That album came out 11 years after From the Hip.
Right.
And now we're in 2026 and it's been 25 years, Frank. That's kind of crazy.
But do you know what that album was supposed to be?
No. Well, you probably told me.
There's a story about Eye of the Storm that most people don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Which is when I did, it came out in 2001, like you say, or 2000, whatever that
2001, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I did it in 93.
That's right. Okay, I do remember this. You telling me about this now. That's right. You had the material written.
And I did it as an experiment. There's an experiment going on with that record. And that experiment is simply this. What would I have done instead of Maxum if I'd have had, during the time of Maxum, if I'd have had the knowledge that I have now?
Mm-hmm.
So when I did Eye of the Storm, I made sure I had only equipment that was available in 1970, 71.
Really?
I even used a curly cord for the guitar.
Okay, now you're showing your age, man.
I used one speaker, one mic, one amplifier head, one guitar, and 99% of the album's done with a Stratocaster.
I do recall you telling me that. I do remember that.
Okay.
Yep.
And I didn't use any digital reverbs or anything that wasn't available in 71.
It was all analog.
Well, it was all analog and whatever was available then, like a reverb plate. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow.
And then I compared the finished album to Maxum. And it kills Maxum.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I'll be honest with you.
It completely kills it.
Yeah.
And then you ask yourself, what if that record, Eye of the Storm, sounding the way it sounds, came out in 1971?
Well, man, it would have been like
would have been like Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been on par with, you know, the Hendrix albums, you know, Electric Lady.
Yeah, so the difference between those two records is simply knowledge.
Yeah, songcraft.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you were what were you, 50s, about 50 something versus 16.
Right. In other words, knowledge, wisdom, age.
Yeah. I think you did tell me that, and I don't think I realized, because I remember you now saying, when you mentioned the Strat thing, I was like, whoa, that's right. Because, you know, you're known.
That's why I like to play He's Calling live.
It's great.
I like to play, you know, there's songs on it that I'd like to play.
I'll tell you what, Avalon is a fantastic song.
Avalon we've played live. That's on Real Live.
And Heat of the Moment is a freaking great song, man.
Heat of the Moment is a great tune.
Yeah.
Window to the World is a great tune. Eye of the Storm itself is a great
tune. It's a great song. Yeah, He's Calling is kind of the big standout track, though, I think, obviously, and you do that you've done that quite a bit. There's another track, a couple other tracks I kind of
Ordinary Man.
What's that?
Ordinary Man.
Yeah, that's a great song too. Yeah, and they're not as they don't like you said, you're the knowledge part of things. They don't sound like they would have been written though in 1972. You know what I mean? Or in other words, they sound like they're more written in more modern times. As far as your songcraft, I guess is what I'm getting at.
That's what happens when you gain knowledge.
Yeah.
That's just basically it.
I kind of hit a couple of.
I only did the record to find out what the difference would be. I didn't plan to put it out.
Yeah, and you self put that out, right?
Well, it ended up on Just in Time.
Oh, that's right. You're right. Okay.
You know, but
you
live and you learn and you do what you can, you know, as you do it.
Did you license that to them, or how'd that work?
Yeah, it was kind of a licensing deal. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. A couple other tracks that I had forgotten about. Babylon Revisited, man, that's a great song off From the Hip.
Right.
And also the wall came down. From the Hip actually is that dark horse that I started listening to and going, you know what, I got to go back to this album, because I'm not a great big fan of Full Circle. I think it's just the one album in your catalog that I can't sort of connect with for some weird reason, and I think it's
you will when you're older.
I am old, Frank. I just turned 60, for God's sake.
No. Wait till you're 77.
Okay, all right. If I make it that long, good Lord, I don't know.
Yeah, you'll make it.
But yeah, man, and then some other stuff like Razor's Edge. That's a really contemporary kind of 80s sounding song off Full Circle that's quite good.
Yeah.
Ditch Queen is another one. I know you've done that in the past, right?
Believe it or not, you know what my favorite song on Full Circle is?
What's that one?
Other than Full Circle itself?
Mm-hmm.
It's Imagine.
Wait.
The opening track.
Yeah, I didn't listen to that one because I kind of forget how that one goes. I'll have to go.
It's very pop oriented, but I'm a closet pop lover.
Yep. You told me you have oodles of tapes of pop songs.
Oh, many, more than I can count.
That's your Beatles influence, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Totally.
I didn't want to keep you all day, so I want to try to hone in on getting you out of here in 10 or 15 minutes at the most. But I did want to bring up the fact. So I sent you my list of songs. You can watch it back, or I can send it to you. These are the ones I want to see. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I'm just teasing, man. So here's what I wanted to get to. So we brought up Rush and Alex, and we brought up Rick and Triumph. What remind me of those dates, because I did look around to see where you may have played with Rush. I couldn't find anything on that, but I did find the stuff on
Triumph. Very early with Rush.
Okay. Was that in Montreal?
Before either of us were happening.
Okay. So they were just a bar band?
A local promoter decided to do a couple of gigs with Mahogany Rush, and a band called Bull Rush.
Oh, wow.
In Ontario, Canada.
Okay.
That's when I played with Rush.
Now, who headlined that? Who headlined?
I did.
Oh, you did? Wow. That's pretty wickedly cool. Was it an outdoor thing or what?
No, it was probably a high school or something.
Okay. What year would that have been?
Probably.
Like 68, 69?
No, that would have been like 70, 71.
Oh, it was a
something
little
like
later
that.
then. Okay, all right. So
Yeah.
they were still pretty formative, and you were still fairly formative at that time. How about that?
Right, exactly. With Triumph, I did a few gigs with Triumph over the years. Like you show up at a place and there's Triumph, like they happen to be on the show, like a festival or something.
Okay, so it was more like festival dates.
The most notable, well, I did some with just the two bands, but the most notable one was the Heavy Metal Holocaust.
Yes.
In early 80s, where Triumph was on the bill, I was on the bill, Ozzy was on the bill, Motorhead was headlining, and I think Cheap Trick was there.
That's a crazy bill right there.
Yeah, it was a pretty crazy bill. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Was this Ozzy now when he's solo with Randy or Jakey?
With Randy Rhoads. Yeah.
Randy, okay.
Yeah, Randy Rhoads.
Because I was going to ask you, did you ever meet Randy?
Well, not more than to say hi.
Okay, so it was just one of those quick things.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to hit you with a couple guitarists to see if you'd met them, and this all tied into the fact that I went to see Uli for the very first time 6 weeks ago. He came to a really killer venue that's like 20 minutes from my house, and I don't know if you're familiar with if their legend ever got up to you, but there's a place down here in Lidditz, Pennsylvania called Clare Brothers Sound. Do you know them?
I know the sound company.
Okay, that's Clare Brothers. That's right where I live. I live 20 minutes from them.
Yeah, I know Clare Brothers Sound. We used to use them.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured because they were kind of the big 70s and 80s sound company. They still are. They still do it. I don't know. I know Roy Clare's dead. I don't know about the other brothers.
They were my favorite sound company.
They were damn good, man. They were damn good.
I thought their boxes sounded absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. Now, were you aware of Michael Tate too? Do you know Tate Towers?
No.
Okay. So Michael Tate worked for Yes in the early days, in the early 70s, like probably close to the Edge era. And he designed all their lighting and their trusses and their rigging, not the rigging. What am I trying to say? Like the staging,
Yeah.
And he started a company here called Tate Towers, and they do all the giant stages. They do Metallica, the big giant stadium stuff, the Rush stuff. Anyways, Michael Tate built. It's a place down here called Rock Lidditz. I'll send you a link. I'll email you a link so you can check this out. It's basically a sound and rigging and lighting kind of all-in-one encompassing concert. What's the word I'm looking for?
Venue?
Well, the venue's part of it, but they have like a hotel. So, for example, Metallica.
Okay,
it's an all-in-one shop for doing concert venues or concert stuff. And it's really beautiful, man. I mean, they've sunk, I don't know how, there's a lot of money there. Money that I don't understand. Let's put it that way. But Michael Tate built a place called Mickey's Black Box. And it is, to me, the most, and I'll send you a link to that too, so you can check it out. It is the most premier venue around, I think. Even in the state of Pennsylvania, I've been to a lot of venues around here. It's state of the art. In fact, the floor rises up out of the concrete floor. They have seating that comes up out, and it's like theater seating. You're like sitting in one of those big, comfy theaters.
And it comes out of the floor.
It comes out of the floor. The stage itself is massive for this building, and they have top of the line lighting and sound equipment. I don't know the specs on it, but I'll send you the link. You can check it out. The point is that Uli was supposed to play here last year, and I couldn't go. Something happened. I saw Steve Morse there. You know Steve, I would imagine. You know who Steve is. And then Uli canceled his tour last year, and then he rebooked it this year, and I was able to go. And I had never seen Uli live, okay? And I've never seen the Scorpions with him. I always saw him with Matthias. I went to see the show,
Was he doing Scorpion stuff?
He did the entire Virgin Killers and, which I hate the title of that album, to be honest with you, and they hate it too. Virgin Killers and In Trance. They did essentially, they did all of Virgin Killers and about half of In Trance, all the cool songs, all the Uli songs, to be honest with you. And the first part of the concert, he did 2 sets. The first part was him, which I didn't love. He was playing to backing tracks and doing his Bach and Paganini and
yeah, I know that guy. I spent 6 weeks with him.
Yeah, well, okay. I mean, he seems like a lovely guy, but that part of it I didn't really enjoy. But when he did all the Scorpion stuff, it was fantastic. And then he closed with about a 12-minute version of All Along the Watchtower.
Oh yeah, I used to do that with him
when you guys did that tour in 2002.
We did that tour, yeah.
Okay, that was, what was that called? Do you remember the
Legends of Rock?
Legends of Rock. That's it. Yeah. He was great. He did one thing that I wish he wouldn't have done. No offense, Uli. He sang All Along the Watchtower. I could have done without that.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, but he's a beautiful guy. I thought he's wonderful. And
he's a fantastic person. He's also an amazing player.
Yeah.
And he's a very hard worker. A lot of people don't realize that he, every day he does his, he plays violin a little bit, plays piano, he practices a lot. He's very dedicated to his craft.
He's also a crazy good painter.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew that about him, but he's an incredible artist, man. I mean, he was showing some of his artwork, and I will say a little bit of it kind of felt, every now and again, it kind of felt a little bit like an infomercial at times because he was talking about the book and whatnot, but that's cool. I get it. He's got to make a living. I understand. But I was pretty blown away by him, and unfortunately, he was charging, and this is where I probably shouldn't even tell you, so I probably should tell you off. Yeah, I'll tell you when we end. I'll tell you when we end. I didn't get a chance to talk to him, and I'll tell you why when we end the live stream.
Was he doing the VIP stuff?
Yeah.
I don't do that.
Yeah, I know you don't. And it wasn't so much the VIP.
Everybody does, man. Everybody does.
They do. They do. I get that. I mean, let's be honest. Guys like the Stones, even Rush's VIPs are absurd. Which I met Getty and Alex once through friends, and it was free. That was pretty cool. I only got about 5 minutes, you know what I mean? But the thing, what rubbed me a little wrong about the Uli thing was they were $100, and I just thought that was really excessive. After you just paid $75 or $100 for a ticket, now you got to lay another $100 out just to shake hands and get a photo with him. Okay,
so let me explain that to you.
Okay. I think I know what you're going to say, but go ahead.
The agents and the promoters are the ones that want to do that.
Exactly, they are.
Okay?
They're taking a piece of it.
Yeah, and so when they asked me, when I was going to go on tour and then COVID happened?
Yep, I very much remember. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They had asked me about that way back then. But about doing the VIP thing and how it would add, all of this money
revenue
to the price of the ticket. And then they make all this revenue, right?
Right.
And what does the buyer get? The buyer gets to come and say hello for a couple of seconds and shake a hand
and get a picture
and take a picture
and a signature.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Which is something I've been doing for free since I started.
You're a unique guy in that respect, Frank. And
why would I start? How could I start charging for it?
Exactly. Yeah, you're unique in that respect. I think I've met other guys that are fairly cool. Like, for example, at that Maryland Death Fest, I was around a lot of these guys, and I know some of them. And then I had guys yelling out to me, "Hey, I know your podcast. Hey, come over here a minute." That kind of thing. It was free. The big arena thing, the Live Nation shows, they're the ones pushing that shit because they're the ones that are taking 25, 30%. Like you said, the agent, he's cleaning up on that. He doesn't have to do anything, provide Sharpies. That's about it, right?
Yeah.
And keep the line moving, and that's about it. And that's what's very unique about you. I have no doubts that, you know, if I come up to Montreal and, you know, I have no doubts that we'll meet and we'll probably even hang out a little bit. Maybe we'll see. But I know that you wouldn't just be like, hey, charge that guy $50 to come over and take a picture with me. I just know that's not you.
No, that's crazy. That's crazy stuff, man.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing to me.
It kind of is a little bit. And like, to be honest with you, if Uli had charged like 40, I probably would have been like, yeah, whatever. It's $40. I wouldn't have been happy about it, but I would have done it. But $100, man, that's salty after I just paid $79 for a third row seat. You know, it's like, wow, okay.
Well, let me ask you this. How much more was the VIP than the regular ticket?
I said that the VIP was $100
extra
over the $79 ticket. Or
no, that's ridiculous.
And then if you wanted to be upstairs, you could buy a $49 ticket or whatever. I bought one close to the stage because I wanted to see and experience it. I will say his singer sounds like Klaus Meine. He's really good. But yeah, when I actually walked out front, I'm like, hey, how much is the VIP? Because I thought I wanted to talk to him and say, hey, Frank Marino, he's a buddy of mine. Or, you know, we're friends, and we, you know, he's been on my show, and then I saw the price tag, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I can't, you know, I just couldn't do that. I mean, I wouldn't do. I think I've only ever done that like one time, and it was back in 2013 when they started that stuff for Fates Warning.
Yeah.
And I think I spent $30, and the ticket was like $25, so it was like $55 for the whole night. And,
right.
You know, which, okay, that's, you know, but you know, you're probably well aware, or maybe you're not. I don't know. But I mean, are you aware of what the Rush tickets were going for when they announced that?
I heard stories.
Just absolute freaking insanity. I was in line, Frank. I was in line. I was in the queue online, which that's a whole nother kettle of fish that we could talk for hours about, the whole Ticketmaster and the bots and all the bullshit that goes on with that. But
yeah,
you know, I come from the days, and you, where you went out to the mall, or maybe you didn't even go out to the mall for tickets to your band's shows. You went to the venue and got one at the venue. But you know, I used to go to the mall to get tickets. We'd camp out. We'd go out the night before and hang out, and you know, everybody be having fun and talking about the bands, and then you'd run up there in the morning and you'd get your fifth row seats for $35. Rush's tickets, my Rush tickets were hold on a minute. I don't want to lie about this, so let me remember here. I had to go see them. I didn't have to, but I had to, if you get what I mean.
I get what you're saying.
And I mean, they probably are my favorite band of all time. And that's just, you know, you're in there, you're in that top 5, but Rush is a very special animal to me. And I felt I had to go. But I was in the queue for the original set of dates for New York, for Madison Square Garden. I kid you not, Frank, when I got on at exactly 11:30, when they had you queue for the 12 o'clock open sale, I was 587,000 and something in line.
My God.
508, 500,000 people were ahead of me, plus. So I decided, you know what? I'm just going to check back periodically. I'm going to do housework and do whatever I'm doing. I'll come back and check and see what happens. An hour later, I was like, I got down to like 500. I'm like, all right, let's see what happens. By the time I was in queue to pick a ticket, the only thing left were nosebleed seats in the very top rafters at the back of the, you know, away from the stage for $800 a piece.
Right.
And the floor tickets that were available were these packages where you had to buy a minimum of 2, and they were $3,000 a seat.
My God.
I mean, come on, man. Like,
well, I can tell you this. That's not just the promoters.
No, it's Live Nation. It's Ticketmaster. It's their monopoly. And they were just found to be a monopoly by a lawsuit. And you know what they're doing? They're giving people $25 vouchers. It's like, are you kidding me, man? Like, You got to be joking. I think I paid about $260 for a decent seat for Rush, but that's crazy because when I saw them on Neil's last tour in 2015, I paid for 12th row on the floor. I think I paid $150. So it doubled from 2015. It's just
everything has gone up too. That's what they'll tell you. I mean,
yeah, and
look at the price of gas.
I know, man. Yeah, don't even get me started on that, man.
For me to go on a bus now, a bus tour the bus gets 3 miles to the gallon.
Yeah, it would be crazy expensive.
Okay, so and that's diesel,
right?
So I think diesel's up around $6 now.
Yeah, it dropped down to 5 something down here, but not for long.
So imagine let's put it at $5.
Right.
Okay, so if you've got to pay $5 for every 3 miles you drive.
Oh man, yeah.
And that's on top of paying for the bus.
Yeah, you wouldn't make any money. You'd be
no, you don't.
You'd be in the red.
So what they do is they try to make it up by doing 2 things: enhancing the ticket price and doing merch. And I've never been big on merch.
Yeah, and the problem with merch now, Frank, is that is the way you make money. You charge 35, 40. I mean, I'll tell you right now, the Triumph shirts, and that was in a big Live Nation venue. It was an outdoor shed called what used to be called the Tweeter Center. It's it's across the river in Camden, New Jersey from Philly. And a Raglan, you know what a Raglan is, the baseball jersey of the 70s?
Yeah.
A Raglan jersey was $70, and a short sleeve t-shirt was $60, which that's on top of the $125 I paid for my ticket. Needless to say, I did not buy any t-shirts. I bought something off their website for $35.
Right.
Because you know what they're hoping to get $25 out of that shirt after they're, they mass produce them, so they're probably $2-3 a shirt it costs them to print them and make them in bulk. And I've made t-shirts, so I know what it costs. And the venue is taking 40%. So the band has no real choice but to bounce those prices up in order to walk away with any kind of profit.
Right.
Which is terrible. And I did something I haven't done in 40 years, maybe, probably since seeing Rush in the early 80s. I bought a bootleg shirt out in the parking lot for $20 because it was awesome looking. And I'm like, just to be clear, I'd already bought 2 shirts that they had listed on their website for, and we got to get you to make some shirts, Frank. I got to talk to you about that because I think they would sell, but I know you're reluctant to have
well, we are going to have some shirts at that gig.
Okay. All right.
But they're not of the gig. They're the shirts that we have. We have a lot of shirts in storage.
Okay, I see.
With the Strange Universe moon on it and stuff like that.
Oh man, yes, I'm gonna have to have one of those. If I can't make it up, I gotta talk to Mick and he's gotta send me one. I gotta send him some money to get me one. But I think I'm gonna be there. But yeah, it's kind of crazy, man. I mean, I really don't know who has the money for these kind of things regularly anymore. It's just, I'm talking mainly the big arena shows. They just suck you dry.
Well, yeah, because you're paying. It's the same as saying, I'm going to go out and I'm going to get a burger, or I'm going to go out and get a burger at a
fancy restaurant
mall that happens to be downtown, and they're paying a lot for their rent.
Right. Yep.
That's just the cost of living. Everything is going to be higher. There's no doubt about that.
It's changed a lot though. Pre-COVID, these arena shows were not this way, and then everything since COVID, and who knows how much of it is truth and lie. Everything is now crazy priced. It's just it's almost too expensive to live anymore some days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm kidding around, of course, but you get my point. Hey, when you go out and do this show, Are you going to be playing the old SG? Are you taking anything new out on stage with you, or is it all the old
I'll
gear?
be playing mostly the one that I've got on the DVD.
Okay, and that's your 63.
Yeah, with the single coil pickups there, the DiMarzios.
What have you ever played the SG that Zach gave you, the Crying Moon one?
That's about to be played because I'm fixing something up on it.
Oh, so are you going to play that on a song or two, or?
No, I won't play it that night.
Oh, you won't? Okay.
It's not ready.
How's your pedal board all set? Is it still in?
I'm working on it.
You're working on it?
I'm working on it, man. That's what I'm working on.
All right. Are you going to be adding any? Are you adding any Frank Marino audio pedals onto that board? I assume yes.
Of them. All of them.
All of them. Okay.
Yeah, all of them.
We'll talk about that real quick because the last time we talked, you were struggling a little bit with all the tariff stuff. Is that still an issue?
It is an issue in America.
Okay, so has that?
So my sales of pedals to America has declined,
right,
because of the tariffs.
Okay, and there wasn't a workaround there.
Well, well, there is no workaround because people think that the person selling into America pays the tariff.
Yeah.
That's not how it works.
No, it's not. But that's what we were told.
The buyer pays the tariff.
Yeah, but you know who was telling us that, right?
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
It's the buyer. So I'm still my price is still exactly the same.
Right. It just costs more over
like,
here.
Imagine you bought something that was that price, and then when it gets to your door, they say, "Sign here, please, and give us a check for so much." Like
yeah, another $100 or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's
so people know that.
Yep.
You know, at least the buyers are not. They're not stupid. They know they're going to have to pay it, so they'd rather wait and see what happens and see if it goes away. I personally think at some point it will go away. You know?
Maybe by 2028 it'll go away.
Well, yeah, but for now it's the way it is. And so I'm selling a lot to Canada, and I'm selling a lot to Europe. And
I might pick one up when I come up. That would be my best option, is to grab one when I come up. What are you still with the same 6, or did you add anything new?
Oh, I've got a few. They're not all on the page.
Okay.
Yeah. But I've got a delay. I've got a high octave. I've got an EQ. I've got 9, I think, in all.
Oh, there's 9 now. Okay, and there was, because the last time there was 6. The last we talked, and there was, I think there was a sustain. Was it a sustain?
There's a sustain, a clean sustain.
Right, and was that the Sus 2 or the
Sus 4?
Sus 4, that was it. The Sus 4, yeah, that one. That's a killer pedal. I want to get you out here in a minute or two. I wanted to ask you about a couple guitar players real quick, and whether these guys you ever cross paths. So you said, Randy, that you just a quick in passing thing, and obviously you've talked to Alex, I would assume, at some point, and Rick.
Yeah.
How about?
Not recently.
Yeah, back, but you've had some discourse with them at some point.
Yeah, but it's always this sort of polite, "How are you?" You know, like, "Hey, how are you doing, man?" Oh,
okay.
I never got, like, with Uli, I got close.
Okay, because you were on tour with him.
With Zach, I got close. You know, like whether I was on tour or not, it just worked out.
How did Zach reach out to you?
Yeah.
Okay. When was that? How long ago was that?
Well, I was playing New York once, and Zach came before anyone knew about him, and he came up to my dressing room as a fan.
No shit.
Yeah, it was a big deal for him.
And this was pre-Ozzy?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so he was a kid.
Yeah, he was skinny.
Oh, yeah, he was.
He had long blonde hair.
Oh, man, he did have crazy long hair. You're right. Yeah, he still does.
Yeah.
He's all jacked now, though. That boy's ripped, man. That guy is the funniest guy. He is the funniest guy ever, man. I swear to God.
Yeah.
How about Tony Iommi?
I had one interaction with him. because I played with Black Sabbath a few times.
Oh, really? When was that?
Yeah. Oh, back in the 70s.
In the U.S. or over there overseas?
In the U.S.
Okay.
In the U.S.
Okay.
So I had one interaction with Tony when I was playing with Black Sabbath. And it was basically, we were opening for them, I believe somewhere in Texas.
Okay.
And how did it work? Oh, yeah. When we finished, they came on and the amps, the Marshalls that they were using were humming like crazy. And I mean, like, you couldn't play. It was like, you know?
Was it a 220 thing?
I don't know what, no one ever figured out what it was, but they were on stage in the dark for a good 10 or 15 minutes trying to fix it.
Oh, wow.
And the crowd was getting very antsy.
Okay.
So I sent word through my road manager that my amps were still on stage.
Okay.
And I sent word through the road manager to their road manager that Tony could use my amps.
And this was your old acoustic, or?
Yeah, my old 270 system.
Okay.
And the word that came back was I wouldn't use those. Like, but less polite.
Well, he was a Laney guy, I believe, back then. Probably.
No, I think it was Marshall.
Oh, was he Marshall? Okay, I thought he was Laney way back then, but you might be
well,
right.
that night was Marshall.
Okay, all right. So he wasn't cool then.
Well, it wasn't the coolest thing that the way it came back.
All right.
You know?
Interesting.
And I've had that situation with a lot of guys in the 70s.
Oh, I know. We talked about the Ted Nugent thing.
You know what? I'll tell you the truth about Ted. At the end of the day, it's all an act.
Mm-hmm. I know.
It's all an act. When you get to talk, if you talk to the guy when he's not putting on the act, he's like a different guy.
Yeah, I know. There is a bit of that, you know, the loincloth crazy wango tango dude that, you know, always, like you said, it was kind of a press. And I think the press kind of pushed that thing up a little bit too back then, you know?
Yeah, he's not a bad guy.
How about Eddie Van Halen? Did you ever meet Eddie?
Never met him, no.
Okay. Couple more here. How about Jimmy Page, not Jimi Hendrix?
The only time I saw Page was when I went to the Rainbow.
No shit. In LA?
Yeah.
Was
one night when I was there, they were there.
What year would this have been? 70s?
Oh, in the 70s.
Okay. Were they big at that?
Mid 70s.
Were they pretty big at that? I guess they were pretty big at that time then.
Led Zeppelin, of course.
Yeah. How about Brian May?
Brian was very nice with me.
He's a sweetheart of a guy.
He was very, very nice with me. He was a very personable guy. I found him very friendly, but I had a hard time on that tour.
Okay.
Because everybody else was not nice.
Were you actually playing with Queen?
We were opening for them, yeah.
Wow. In the States,
and
I assume.
We did a month, or more.
In the States?
Yeah.
No way. Now, do you remember what year that was?
Would have been their first American tour.
73, 4, 3, 4?
Probably 5. No, probably 5, 6, something like that.
Okay, wow. That I had no idea that you opened for Queen ever. That's incredible.
Yeah, and we did a lot of gigs with them.
No way, man. Who else was on that bill?
Nobody that I can remember.
Oh, you said you met the other members of Queen.
Oh, yeah. We had a hard time with their road crew, and we had a hard time with their manager.
Oh, man.
We had a hard time with our show, and some nights we had to not play, and they wanted us to play on the floor, and it was just bizarre. One thing after another. It was a really bad experience for me, except for Brian.
All right, I got 3 more for you. How about Gary Moore?
I never met Gary.
Never met Gary, because I think you two would have been like 2 peas in a pod.
Probably friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zappa. Did you ever meet Zappa?
You know, I did, but it was when I was a young kid.
Oh,
Before I
really?
played guitar, yeah.
What, did you go see him or?
No, well, the Mothers of Invention,
Right.
if you remember them,
Okay. Yeah, of course.
were playing at a small place downtown Montreal. And my older brother and sister were going to see them. And I tagged along, but when we got there, I wasn't allowed in
Oh,
because
they
I
wouldn't
was
let you
too
in.
young.
Oh, man. Would this have
So
been?
I was.
I
So my brother and sister said, "Go home, get on the bus, and go home." So
oh my
I
God.
was kind of peeved.
How old were you?
But what I did, I was 12, 13,
Okay.
something.
Wow.
11 maybe. And it was in the 60s.
That's when you could send your little brother home on a bus in a big city. Now you would never do that, right?
Exactly. Yeah. But I stopped at the restaurant across the street to get a Coke.
Uh-huh.
And he was in there eating.
No way. That's crazy.
So I walked up to him and said, "Hello, sir. I'm Mr. Zappa." And he treated me like a kid, like,
oh, yeah.
Very nice, hey, kid, what are you doing here? You
know,
want
though,
French fry, that type of thing.
But Frank, he was probably only in his mid-20s then, or maybe.
Right. He was very, very nice.
Very
nice. But everybody's nice to a young 11-year-old kid.
Of course, of course. Yeah, of course, yeah.
But I had a deep respect for Frank Zappa.
Man, what a brilliant
musician.
What a brilliant guy. Holy hell.
Yeah, totally.
How about Carlos?
I loved Carlos Santana. He was a big influence on me, and I got to meet him, and I got to play with him, and I played with him more than once.
Wow. He is playing here at the end of the month, and I only found out him and the Doobies, and I've never seen either one, and I love Carlos. Love those early Carlos albums, man. Those first Caravanserai and the third album with Neil Schon, who was another guy I was going to ask you about, Neil. Just amazing stuff, but they're playing the same night I have tickets to another show. So I'm kind of obligated to this other show, which means I won't get to see them in the Doobies. But did you ever meet Neil Schon?
Well, I never met him, but I must have played with him because I played with Journey.
Oh, yeah.
So he would have been the guitar player on those shows.
He's been the only guitar player for that band. Yeah, he's the only original guy left. Yeah. He's one of my favorite melodic soloists, man. He's up there with you. He'd probably be my fourth guy on that with all those Canucks. He'd be the other guy. All right, let me just look my list over quick. And how about Holdsworth?
Alan Holdsworth is probably one of the most generational guitar players ever to come down the pike.
Well, Alan,
he's inimitable.
Yeah, Alan spoke a different language than everyone else. Let's be honest.
Yeah, no one can play like that.
No. Did you ever meet him?
No.
No. Okay. And we'll go with two last ones. I cheated.
I heard he was at a gig of mine.
That would not shock me at all.
Someone said Alan Holdsworth is here
because his biggest fan was Eddie Van Halen, and they were good buddies. I got two last ones for you, and then I'm gonna let you get out of here. We'll tap back around quick and talk about the fest real fast and wrap up. How about Steve Lukather?
I never met Steve. You know what? It's funny because people say that he said he met me. So I don't know. I don't have a recollection.
I believe that. Luke's pretty sharp dude, man. I mean, I would actually believe that. I don't know how much you know of his playing, but God damn, he's
fantastic.
God, is he good, man.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
He'd probably he'd be the fifth guy on that list for me there. And then one last one I got to ask about, because when I was looking at the DVD stuff, looking at the set list and whatnot, I noticed I have the DVD, the Blu-ray, but I didn't look at that. I was looking online, and I was reading the various quotes from, people like Randy Hansen. He's another guy, the Hendrix guy.
Right.
Really, he's a great player too. But I noticed that Sean Lane's name was on there, and it's kind of weird because of course, I know who Sean Lane is. Another generational guy. He's up there, I think, in the Holdsworth conversation. Did you ever meet him? And I mean, he talks glowingly about you. Of course, we lost him a bunch of years ago, but
yeah, I don't have a recollection of actually meeting him, but Willie, who runs the site, I think knew him.
Okay. Yeah, wow, scary guitar player.
Yeah, I'll tell you who's the best technical guitar player today.
Okay.
There's two. One plays an acoustic guitar.
Tommy Emmanuel.
He's
insanely good. Yes.
Okay, and the newest one is the Sicilian guy.
Oh, Matteo.
I
just saw Matteo back in February. I found out he was playing in DC. He is sick. Sick.
There is nobody better.
Man, the shit he does with his right hand.
I'm talking technically better.
The stuff he does with his right hand is like, what? Come on, man. Yeah. Come on. What cheat code did you unlock? The way he plays with his fingers.
Yeah.
You just shouldn't be able to do that, and he does. Yeah. He's amazing. Really nice kid too, man. I mean, he's young. To me, he's young. I think he's 28 or 29, something like that. Got to meet him after the show. Really sweet. Didn't make me pay any money to meet him. So he's taking a page out of the Frank Marino handbook. So Frank, you're coming back for your first show, and just correct me if I'm wrong. This is your first real full-fledged, let's say 90-minute, a short set for you, but still it's a full, for most bands, that's a full set. Am I right in saying it's been almost 16 years?
Yeah, almost 16 years.
Wow. That's crazy. I mean, the caveat is that you did have a pretty big tour planned in 2020, I guess it was. Right?
Yeah. So we're going to find out if muscle memory works.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask you how much, because I did ask this of Mick. I said, how much woodshedding are you doing right now? And he's like, yeah, I'm trying to get back in the field, but you got to understand with Frank, he just shouts a song out or whatever. And you got to be ready to roll. I'm like, well, how much practicing is Frank doing? He goes, I don't know. You're going to have to ask him.
I don't practice.
It's crazy to me. I
never did. I don't like to.
Oh my God, Frank. That's So
if you do, it takes away from having the fun.
There's no hope for us mere mortals here. If that's your sort of way of doing.
No, but if you play a lot with people,
right? You're practicing.
That's like practicing.
Yeah, you're practicing. Yeah.
You may not, but to sit down and practice scales, and I see a lot of people saying, "Hey, I went on YouTube and this guy shows how to do this and he shows how to do that," and I'm thinking, well, why would you spend your time doing that?
I see where you're coming from. Everybody's a little different, though. You know what I mean? I mean, some guys, you're a very intuitive feel player. I think, is that fair to say?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
100%.
And so, I'm not a guy that can sit. I tried to take some lessons with some good players that I know that are metal guys, and they're good. They're good players. They're not just metal guys. And I found out very quickly I am the worst student ever, because I've been playing since, for real, I've been playing since I was 14 or 15. And right. I kind of realized that I'm just a terrible student. So I will go online and try and figure some things out, but a lot of it just comes from just playing the fretboard, man. And
yeah, here's what I think. You remember the stories? Well, I don't know if you do, but of the guy dropping the needle on a record over and over again to learn something, or slowing down a record.
No, okay? I know exactly what I did that in the 70s. Yeah.
Okay. So in my opinion, the fastest way to rewind the tape, right, so to speak, is to put it in your memory.
Yeah, right.
So just listen to it enough times that it's in your memory.
Oh, right. You're hearing it.
Yeah, in your memory, like everybody knows happy birthdays in your memory.
Right. Oh, right. The tune is in your, yeah, exactly. Right.
Okay, like it's so in your memory that you don't have to memorize it.
Right.
You don't. Now, if you need to copy it with your hand, for instance, you just have to listen back to your memory.
I got you. Yeah, that makes
It's like
a lot of
rewinding a
sense.
tape really fast.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Now that brings up a point, though. That brings up a question. You haven't sang a lot of these songs in a long time. How's your memory as far as the lyrical
That's
content?
bad.
Okay. I got you. I got you.
Lyrics, I have to go and look at them.
Are you going to, well, they do make these screens now. You can kind of cheat.
Yeah, but I couldn't use
You wouldn't do that? Okay, because Getty's using one.
No.
I noticed Getty's using one the other night. Yeah. And Halford, and I don't think Bruce Dickinson does, but a lot of these big guys, they're kind of a little bit lazier. But I see that's not in your kind of like in your DNA to be a cheater like that, right?
Yeah, no. You're talking about the same type of screens that the politicians use?
Yeah, they're kind of like a teleprompter, but it's on the floor, kind of angled at you, and you can look down at it and cheat if you need a line or something. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd be shocked if they didn't have those and ask you if you want them at this thing. I'd be real shocked. I could be wrong.
They might have them?
Yeah, I could be wrong, but I'd be very surprised if they've got a number of different artists coming in throughout the day, if there's not going to be some people that will use them, and they'll be there if you want them. So I was curious about that because, if you're talking about doing 90 minutes, unless you're playing like 20-minute songs and it's an hour, like Poppy and, whatever. I mean, one of your super long, He's Calling, or, one of those type songs where you expand it out to 15-20 minutes, you're going to have some lyrics to reacquaint yourself with,
Yeah, and that's part of what I have to probably look at. But when we go over it with the guys, like we won't be actually rehearsing, but we'll be talking about it.
Was that this week that Mick was coming over? I thought he said he was coming over soon.
He came over last week.
He did.
He was with me for a couple of days, and he's gone for the next 2 or 3 weeks, and then he's coming back.
Does he live near you, or how far is he from you?
Oh, he lives far. He lives like a 4-hour drive.
Oh shit! I didn't realize that. I thought he was near you.
No.
Okay.
No. And the guy playing bass on this gig,
right,
is Avi.
He played with you on the Agora show.
He was my rhythm guitar violin guy.
And at the Agora.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't really know him. Like
he's gonna play the bass.
Okay. He's gonna play
bass as another instrument. He plays bass in band.
And then your drummer again is Dave.
Dave Good. Yeah.
Dave Good. Okay. Real quick, let's tie it up here. August 7th in Montreal at Italfest, or is that what it is? Italfest? Okay.
Italfest.
Italfest. Yeah. It is a free concert. So if you're in that area or you're nearby and within a couple hours drive,
just go to Little Italy.
Go to Little Italy. I would imagine
I'm on at 9:15 at night.
You're on at 9:15. And is it like
at 11?
Is it a week long thing or what?
I think it's a week, yeah.
Okay, so and you're Friday night, and then what? There's Saturday and Sunday stuff going on too?
Yeah, there's other stuff going on.
Imagine there's a lot of great places to eat there, I would assume.
Well, yeah, it's Little Italy. That's what you do there.
Last question I'll ask you. Do you ever think about maybe dropping out of the blue some new tunes?
Well, I'm doing, I do that here.
What do you mean?
I've got at least 10.
No, I'm not following.
I just haven't recorded them.
Oh, well, that's okay. That's what I meant. Have you gotten the urge ever to sit down and record new material that you've written that you've gotten is ready, or is it just have you not found the urge to do that?
What I need to do that properly is people. I don't like to work alone.
Okay.
So if let's say Mick came into town and Dave came into town and they were there.
Okay.
Then I'd say, well, let's record these tunes.
I gotcha.
You know, like it's like there'd be a reason to do it because there's people. But to do it, what would be my reason for recording them? To put them out?
Well, you know, there is the ability to put them out on your own, like crowd.
No, I know, but why would I do that? Like, it's not like what would I be trying to accomplish by just doing the tune to put it out? I'd be, to make money or to keep my name alive or whatever.
No, that's a good
point. That would be the reasoning, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point.
But if the guys were there, there'd be a reason to do it. The reason is the guys are here.
Right.
If it ends up going out, it ends up going out. Look at Eye of the Storm. It waited 7 years before it went out.
Well, okay. So let me turn that question on you real quick here. Not to elongate this, but you asked me what would be the point of doing it. But what was the point of doing it all through the 70s and 80s? A contract?
Well, I was on a record label that was making me do one every year.
Okay. So you were kind of being somewhat forced.
I was forced, not somewhat.
But
it was like, okay.
But you did tell me that
you signed a contract to give us so many records.
Right.
And you have to do them.
But you did tell me back when on our first conversation, I'm pretty sure, that you loved being in the recording studio and creating.
You know why I loved it? Because there was a lot of people there.
Okay.
We were famous for doing our recordings in the studio with crowds.
Okay.
Like no other band would come into the studio that we were using and allow people into their session. With me, it was bring them. The more you can bring, the better.
Really interesting. I don't know that. I don't remember.
It was always like a big party. Yeah. I'd be in one room recording, and there'd be people in all the other rooms ordering pizzas and, you know, making spaghetti and doing all kinds of things.
But did you
playing on the pinball machine? And
so did you enjoy the creative process or no?
Yeah, I did. It makes you more creative when you're all happy and you see people who are happy and everybody's in a good mood.
Okay. So what you're saying is, for you to create,
I don't like the dark stuff, you know.
Right. Sure. I know. Yeah, I get that fully. I mean, your faith has a lot to do with that, I would imagine too. So, but would do you still have the board in the basement?
Yep.
And what is that board? I don't remember if I ever asked.
It's a Helios.
It is a Helios.
Yeah.
How many channels?
32. Plus an extra 24 on the side.
What year is that Helios, man?
It's the last one ever made.
Really?
Yeah, it was made in the 80 something.
Holy
crap. The last one that's made with Helios. It's really, really a great sounding desk.
And when did you get that in the late 80s?
I got it in the late 80s, yeah.
Wow.
It was in a studio owned by 10cc. I don't know if you know.
Oh, yeah, man. Of course. I'm Not in Love, man.
Well, I'm Not in Love was done on my board.
What?
Yeah.
That vocal tracking they did on that thing is the most insane thing ever. You know the story of that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That is your board?
That's why I got the Helios.
How did you even know? What studio was that, in England?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Strawberry North.
Which one?
Strawberry North.
Wow. How'd you even know it was available?
Well, I went looking for a board.
Uh-huh.
And I would prefer a Helios because the studio I worked in at Tempo, where I made all my albums, had a Helios.
Right.
One of the other Helioses.
So you were very familiar with it.
When I saw that Strawberry had a Helios, I called them up and asked them if they'd sell it. And at first they didn't want to. And I kept bugging them and said I'd try to get them a deal on a different board.
Okay.
If they wanted to sell their board. And so they did. They ended up buying a different board and they didn't know what to do with the Helios. So I bought the Helios.
Oh my God. That's crazy, man. We definitely didn't that. I'm so glad I asked that. Cause I mean, of course I've seen the video with you down there, with, you know, your amps and your Marshalls and stuff like that. And then that board. And I always wondered, what does he still have that board? Like, what did he do with that board? So do you ever fire it up?
Oh, I use it every day.
You do?
Yeah.
Holy mackerel, man.
I listen to music through it. I if I edit or I record or I mix or whatever, I go through it.
So when you did the DVD, you did it on that board then?
Through it, yeah.
Through the board,
because the recording had been done obviously in Cleveland.
Right. You had to
but I had to mix through something.
Re-edit it and do all those edits and everything. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That is nuts. 10cc. I'm actually looking at my 10cc box set right now. That's crazy. Well, listen, man, I am going to do everything in my power to get up there for that show. And I think there's a good chance of it happening. And mix like,
well, if you do, stop in and say hello. I'm likely to be around most of the day, like in Little Italy, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure. Mick and I'll figure something out once I get up there, and I'll be in contact because I have your number, and I'll give you a call when I know a little bit closer to, how I'm looking. But I'd say I'm at 80% there at this point. I just got to take a look at the money and see. Of course, if gas goes crazy and spikes to like $6-7, which I don't think it's going to get that bad, but if it would, that would be a little bit more difficult. But I think I can pull it off, and I'd love to meet you, shake your hand, and get a picture with you, and just it's a very. I've told you this a number of times, but it's just so weird. My 13-year-old self always goes, "Dude, you're talking to Frank Marino, man." Like in my head, that's what I'm like. I'm going.
So does everybody else.
No, I know. You're very friendly and you're very fan friendly, but like before I learned of Willie's site 20 years or so ago, whenever I found that thing, I don't remember how long ago it was. And there was the forum that you used to visit. I don't think you go there anymore, though, right?
I haven't been there in a long, long time.
Yeah, I haven't either. But I remember I set up a password or whatever, a screen name or whatever. And I was like, wait, what? Frank Marino's actually coming on this board and answering questions? What? Like, what universe am I in? A strange universe, obviously. That's the answer. But and I'm like, this can't be real. Because I just kept thinking back to 13-year-old me hearing Electric Reflections and the live album and going, because you got to understand, Frank, back in those days, in the 70s, as a kid, you're hearing these albums. You're hearing something like Hemispheres from Rush or Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, whatever. And we as fans, because of the way that concerts used to be back then, predominantly,
right.
Especially in the 70s, you guys were kind of cocooned, other than the entourage or other than the promoter's entourage or the in people. Fans didn't really get a chance to interact with bands once they reached a certain level, right?
Right.
And so we all, like, I thought that Geddy and Alex came from Olympus. They lived on some, they lived in some Acropolis up on some hillside somewhere, right? As a 13 year old. You know what I mean? It's silly now when I think back to it. But like, I knew you from Day on the Green and Texas Jam, and I'm like, yeah, that dude's a multi-billionaire and he lives on a yacht somewhere in the South Seas. He's probably in France over the summer. Wasn't quite that way, right?
Nothing could be further from the truth.
I know, sadly, and that's just criminal in my opinion. But the point is that, we when we really talked about you being heroes, it's a weird word probably to hear from a fan. Oh, you're my hero.
Well, it's the way I thought of Hendrix.
Yeah, exactly.
I get it. And Johnny Winter.
Yeah, but and I mean, you didn't get to meet Hendrix, I'm gathering, because you were.
No, but I got to meet Johnny Winter.
Yeah, well, there you go, man. I mean, were you starstruck?
And you know what I said to him? Hello, sir.
Yeah. Well, geez.
Hello, sir. That was it.
Was that it? How old were you?
Yeah. Well, we were touring in the 70s.
Oh, this is when you were in your 20s then. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's you. You're a respectful, good guy. You weren't a Steven Tyler in the 70s. You know what I mean?
Well, I knew Steven very well.
Yeah, he had some issues back then, man.
Yeah, I knew Steven and Joe and the whole band because we had the same manager. For
great band though, man. Great fucking band. Pardon my language, but great band. But yeah, it's just funny when I think about us becoming like, friends via the internet and via the telephone and everything. It's just kind of weird to me. So like when I meet you, I'm not going to be nervous or weird because I've been around a lot of musicians now and I don't feel that way anymore. But
Yeah.
but it's like I'll probably be a little like, hello, sir.
No, that's not going to happen. And even if it did, it would last 5 minutes.
Nah, I know. I'd be like, all right, Frank, let's get a coffee, man. Let's talk
Yeah,
gear, damn it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Well, listen, man, thank you so much. I'm super excited for you. I think you're excited too. You probably temper your excitement at this stage of your life, but you gotta be. Do you think you have a little bit of butterflies going out there?
No. I've never had that.
You never had that.
I've
Okay.
never had that. And people have asked me that question, by the way.
Yeah.
A lot over the years.
Like anxiety.
I don't know. I wouldn't know what that feels like.
You're a lucky man. You're a very lucky man because I've dealt with anxiety a lot in my life. I don't deal with it much anymore, but in my early days, Frank, I couldn't get on stage. I just couldn't do it. I was too overwhelmed with stage fright and all eyes are on me. And
you see, Jeff, I don't know what I can't imagine what that would feel like.
It's horrible. It's horrible. I can't even explain to you. It's the worst feeling you could ever feel. Like where you're literally, your heart's beating so intensely and it's pounding so intensely that you're like, and I would get like this when I had to do a speech in front of like my speech class.
Really?
Oh my God. And you wouldn't know that now because I'm extremely gregarious to a fault now. But yeah, when in my teen years and even in my early 20s, I was overwhelmed with panic and anxiety attacks. And in fact, I medicated for quite a while. And that's part of the reason why I've got neurological problems was from this medication I took for years. And I've been clear of it for 6 years now, but it's caused some kind of irreparable damage to my brain. And I didn't know that I was doing it. But long and short of it is that, I'd have to get up and do a speech, and I'd literally be standing up there and I'd be seeing tunnel vision and things like I was sure I was going to black out and die. Like just.
That's pretty strong, man.
Yeah, man. It was terrifying. I don't feel that way anymore. I could probably get on stage now. I think I could get on stage. For one, I feel confident in my playing now, which I probably didn't back then. But now
I'll give you a tip. I'll tell you one thing.
What's that?
The louder the amp, the less you notice there's people.
It just rattles your brain right now. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
That's probably part of it. Do you have tinnitus? I think we talked about this. I
have a little bit of that. Yeah.
Did you, when you were on stage back in those days and you were cranking your acoustics, or I don't know if you ever used Marshall or backline that wasn't yours, but did you ever wear earplugs or anything?
I tried it a couple of times, but I didn't like it. And what I really didn't like was the in-ear monitors.
Okay.
That was like, I tried that for all of 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's like, I've heard it's like a foreign environment. It makes you feel like you're having an out-of-body experience.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, listen, man, it is so cool talking to you again. And I wanted to get you on before you get too busy preparing for all this. But closer to, you don't text, right?
I don't have a smartphone.
That's right. I forgot. Frank, we got to get you. We got to drag you kicking and screaming into the 2020s.
Well, I have one. I have one. It had belonged to my daughter, and I use it if I go in the car.
Okay.
If you need a phone in the car, like I'll put it in the car. You know, but I don't do the texting thing.
Do you have a flip phone?
I can't get a text message.
Are you still using a flip phone?
I'm using a landline.
Oh, you're on a landline now. Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a little better. I thought you were going to say, yeah, I've got a cell phone, but it's a flip phone. I was going to go, Frank, those went out like 25 years ago.
I wouldn't mind having one, actually.
We got to get you, man. When I come up there, I swear, I think I'm going to bring you okay. Anyways, long story short, if you don't text, I'll just give you a call. Couple weeks.
Yeah, either call me up or just use my email. I mean,
that's true. I can email you. Yeah. I'll email you once I've determine what the lay of the land is. I would say if I don't go to Montana, which is not looking great, then Montreal is absolutely doable. If I go to Montana, we'll have to see. But I really, really feel I got to get up there to see you.
Well, Montana sounds pretty interesting to me.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, but I think the only way I can manage that is if I sell a guitar, and I just don't know if I'm there right now. Every time you gotta understand, and you've probably been there, maybe you have, maybe you haven't, but over the years I've sold my Fender Strat, my PRS, my Gibson Les Paul, my Martin D28.
Wow.
For a number of different reasons. One, going through a divorce the first time, I had to get money together quick. The second thing was my fiance and I split up, and I was gonna be homeless. I had to kind of get rid of some stuff to have money to survive for a little while, and I've never gotten those guitars back, you know.
What kind of amps do you use?
I'm just using a Boss Katana 100-watt. 112 with built-in effects. And the reason that is because I'm in an apartment and I can't really go crazy. Now, in the past,
do you have other amps though?
No, not anymore. I got rid of I had a Mesa Mark II-C, Mesa Boogie.
Okay. Yeah,
and a 412 with Celestian greenbacks in that. And that was raging. That's when I played with bands, cover bands. And now I do have a bunch of guitars. I've got the Ibanez Destroyer 2002. I've got a Spectre Legend bass 4-string. I've got a Jerry Cantrell Wino Les Paul. And then I've got my main guitar is a Dean Cadillac. Do you remember the Cadillacs?
Yeah, sure.
Like half a Les Paul and half Explorer.
Yeah.
Everybody hates those guitars, but I think they rule, and I love the big headstock. I play that. That's in D standard. And then I would say 90% of my playing, Frank, and I wanted to ask you this, and I'm glad I just thought of this, and this will be the end. I play my Taylor acoustic 424 CE Walnut Edgebird. I play my acoustic every day.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm just finger picking because I've really worked on my finger picking style, you know, Lindsey Buckingham type stuff. And I know that if I write a cool riff on my acoustic, it's going to sound that much better on an electric with
that's absolutely true.
Whatever processing goes on. And I truly think that if you get very clean and proficient on an acoustic, and granted, my acoustic's a $4,000 acoustic. It's not a cheap one. I purposely went high end on my acoustic. I think if you play well and clean on acoustic, you're that much better on an electric. That's how I have always done it.
Well, I have a couple of Taylors too.
I was just going to ask you, do you have acoustics? And do you play them often?
The only one I play is the baby Taylor.
Oh, like a 3/4?
Yeah, the little 3/4 guy.
I got my daughter one of those
because I can sit in a chair with it.
Yeah, they're awesome, man. They're great. I got my daughter one for Christmas 2 years ago. I don't know what the
my
model.
daughter has two.
Oh yeah,
but they're the other one, the medium-sized one. What's it called? The
like the Dreadnought or the 00?
No, I have a Dreadnought one also. It's the Grand Symphony.
Oh yeah, they're nice.
And I have the one I like best from them is the semi-acoustic, the T5. Is that what it's called?
That one I'm not familiar with. Are you talking about your daughter has an OM? Like that's a smaller body size?
No, she's got the medium-sized acoustic Taylor. I can't remember the name of it now.
Okay.
It escapes me, but it's a full-size guitar, but the body's a little smaller than the Dreadnought.
I think that's an OM. They call them OM, orchestra model. Yeah, orchestra model.
Maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
They're a little bit smaller body size. They don't have the big
slightly.
They're not like a jumbo. They're not like a jumbo.
Full size neck. It's not like my Grand Symphony, which is a bigger body.
Okay. How do you like? It sounds like you like Taylor's quite a bit.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do. I think they're the best.
Did you ever own any?
Well, I think Martin is the best, but it's hard to play.
I was going to ask you, did you ever own any Martins?
Well, you sold your D28, right?
I sold my D28, yeah.
Didn't you find it hard to play that neck?
No, what I really found, yeah, I know what you're saying, because the it's more of a C shape. It's like a fatter neck.
Yeah.
Like
a
in the middle.
bat. Yeah.
The thing I found about the Martin is that's different than the Taylor is, to my ears, is that Martins have a deeper bass tonal quality to them.
Right.
And the Taylor has a brighter bass tonality, and the upper, when you're playing the top three strings, you get more bright, you get a brighter pop.
Right.
For me.
Right.
And that's
right.
When I had the D28, I was like, yeah, I don't need anything else. And then when I had to sell that, and then I finally was in a better place to buy some guitars, I'm like, you know what, man? I'm going to go play some Taylors. And I fell in love like immediately. It was like, and actually I wanted to get, what's that?
They're very well made.
Oh, they are. And I really wanted to get I really wanted to go crazy, but I'm glad I didn't. But I wanted to get the Koa.
That's what you got.
The Koa, the Darkwood?
Yeah. That's what my daughter got.
Man, the Koa 9000 series, which was their top of the line. I think they call it the artist models or whatever. They were like $8,000. I was like, man, I can't sink that much money into a guitar that, I'm probably never going to play out live.
Well, she didn't pay anything close to that. It's got to be a different model with Koa wood.
Yeah, they make some different models. Yeah, the one I'm talking about is I don't remember the exact. It's a 9000 series. It's all abalone inlays, like real abalone.
My God.
Yeah, it's so beautiful, and you're almost. My fear was I'm almost afraid to take it out of the case, because if I bang it into something, and I do that sometimes with guitars, I'll be playing and I'll turn and bang it into the wall or something stupid. I don't want to do that with a $8,000 acoustic, So,
that's right.
So, well, listen, man. I love you, dude. Thank you so much for popping on with me again. I'm super stoked for you. I'm super excited for you. I'm excited for Mick, because I could feel Mick's excitement talking to him. He was just like, electric about it. And so I am really hoping that in a couple of weeks I'll be up there and get to meet you, man.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Don't get a cold. Don't go getting a cold, sir.
Knock on wood.
All right, man. I did want to tell you something, so hang on 1 minute, okay? I'm going to end this. Oh, no, wait, I guess I did tell you. Did I? Yeah, I guess I did tell you about. Well, I was going to tell you about the Uli thing, and I was going to tell you offline, but we ended up telling you online, talking about it online. So whatever.
I'll tell you something. Uli, remember when I did the Legends of Rock thing?
Yeah. Should I have this live, or should we go offline?
No. Just telling you.
All right, hang on 1 sec. Hold on 1 sec, Frank. Hold on. All right, guys, we're going to end it there. Thanks to everybody that popped in for Frank. If you're anywhere in the area of Montreal, get your booties down to this show. It's a free show. Frank's doing 90 minutes, and first time in 16 years, you're going to see a full set album. So get out there and go see it. Thanks, everybody that popped into the chat. Talk to you later. All right, hang on, Frank.